Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy!
Hey, welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast, episode number 105. We are recovering today from our little trip to the Atlanta Kiss Expo, which was an absolute blast. Maybe one of us is a little under the weather, and Dennis caught some kind of thing, whatever that was, and his throat's swollen. I don't know what the hell happened. Anyway,
he said something about choking on it.
Yeah,
uveitis.
It's kind of weird.
Uveitis. Sorry.
Yes. Well, what? I don't know. Anyway, so anyway, we're going to spend some time today just kind of talking about the event and kind of how that whole thing went. It was a blast. I mean, I had a great time. So there were a lot of people there. Like, I think it was between 900 and 1,000. Is that right? Something like that.
That's accurate.
In that ballpark. It was cool. And a lot of people, I didn't really see anybody get heated or anything. Everybody was pretty cool. It was nice. I got along. Get to see our podcast buddies. So that was very cool. So anything anybody wants to talk about specifically first, or we just want to start running through some stuff?
We got a couple things first.
Well, before we get started, for whatever reason, YouTube decided, I don't even know when they decided, they stopped notifying you that you had comments that were pending or whatever. So I went back through our YouTube channel and was looking at some of the comments, and I got this one, or we got this one comment that it cracks me up, and it's just because of the way the guy worded it. It says, "I like your video and appreciate your knowledge, but never refer to bands that exist in a genre that you simply don't like as crap, unless, of course, they are crap." My question to him is, who gets to decide what is crap? Because
right.
This one episode,
rap is crap.
This one episode, either Dennis or Bill or I, most likely all three of us, said that Slayer was crap. And further on down the message, it says to state the mighty Slayer are crap shows an uneducated comprehension of music that is in more extreme nature. In this case, a lot more extreme. Slayer are near or at the top of the thrash metal world and possess extremely talented guitarists for most of their career. One Dave Lombardo, who is the envy of most every drummer in any form of musical legendary chops on this guy. I clicked off your video right after that negative Slayer comment as it undermines your credibility. Well, my question is, how does it undermine my credibility because my opinion does not mesh with yours? I'm done bitching.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, my response was, opinions are subjective. In our opinion, Slayer is crap. I'm sure that there's something you refer to as crap that we think is gold. Nothing that would cause a negative reaction like that, though. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Sorry it caused you to stop watching. So, if you think that we're assholes because we think Slayer is crap, bye, Felicia.
I mean, like I said, it's just an opinion. I mean, who
exactly.
cares?
Well, I mean, the specific sentence in it was simply that you don't like as crap, unless, of course, they are crap.
Right. I will agree with him that they are at the top.
Crap?
They are the top of the thrash heap.
Well, no, they are the second to the top. They are the second to the top because Metallica is standing on the top of the thrash heap.
All right.
All right. And I know a lot of people that think Metallica's crap.
Let's give them a little thing though. They are going on that. They just announced that they are going on their farewell tour.
Oh yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Well, I saw a tweet from Dave Mustaine, and I think Dave Mustaine wants to do another Big Four tour before Slayer finishes their.
Saw that.
Yeah.
He wants one more hurrah.
I want to get a little bit more money. Oh, sorry.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. I have a buddy of mine at work that today was just, I saw him yesterday, and he was like, man, I got this whole line of shows I'm going to go to, and one of them, the Slayers come, he listens to all this thrash metal and stuff I don't even know the names of, and which is okay. I got no problem with it. And I said, well, enjoy yourself. Have a good time. I hope things go really well for you. I'm, enjoy. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I appreciate it. You know, if you like stuff, fine, man.
Right.
Go for it. Have a great time. You know, just not my bag. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that people don't like that I like, so that's okay. I mean, I don't have a problem with that.
I like the first
Between the
Vinnie
three,
Vincent Invasion album. I don't like the second one.
right. Between the three of us, though, we have things that I like, you don't like, Bill likes something I don't like. It doesn't make me not listen to. You know what I'm saying? People like that get butt hurt real quick, and I'm sorry.
Y'all got butt hurt when I posted that Grateful Dead song.
Because they suck.
No, I didn't get butt hurt.
I didn't get butt hurt.
I thought it was crap, and I just said I think it's crap.
I said my opinion because I got
It's
a
okay.
butthole.
You don't have to agree on everything. We're not supposed to. If we agree on everything, it'd be a boring show.
That is correct. That is.
I mean,
correct.
it might be a boring show anyway. I don't know.
Well,
Exactly.
But
as long as we're entertaining ourselves, that's what's important.
that's right. That's right.
All
Anyway,
right.
well, we didn't have a boring time this weekend.
Well,
so.
I got something else I got to bring up real quick. Guess what
Go
I did?
ahead.
Well, you guys know, but the show doesn't know. So I've been on the fence for for a long time. Sorry about my voice. About the Gene Simmons vault, and I've been, these two yahoos. If it had been a cliff, they've been trying to push me and talk me off this cliff for like on just jump. And my wife, who will be purchasing it for me as a gift, she's been pushing me also. I just couldn't pull the trigger. And then after the first Gene Simmons vault experience, I watched a lot of the videos, and a couple of our friends, Sonny Pooney and Julie and Gail, both got the vaults, and they were both just talking about how great of how good of an experience it was. Well done. The whole situation was very well done, and I pulled the trigger. So I will be going to Nashville and getting my vault on, I think it's April 14th. And as far as we know, there's another announcement going to be made. There's somebody else that's going to be there, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit too.
No, go ahead, say it.
Anyway, Vinnie Vincent claims that he is getting a vault. Gene is giving him one, and he will be at the vault experience to receive his vault. Now, that is he going to, I don't know. Hopefully the lines won't be as long to meet him as they were in Atlanta, which we will be talking about here very soon. But anyway, no, it's going to be interesting. And I think Vinny, this was his coming out, as far as you're going to see a lot more of him. This is not going to be 20 years before we hear about Vinnie Vincent again. But
I hope not. I mean, that was kind of, it was kind of strange, but it was really cool. And, not
everybody there was extremely polite, was excited, and he was extremely nice and basically polite, and it was a kind of a big love fest, to be honest. I mean, I didn't hear anybody bitch. I mean, there was people bitching about waiting in line and stuff like that, but that's normal.
That's a legitimate bitch.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's start from the beginning. Bill, you want to start us out on our trip to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Okay, I got up and took a shower, and then not quite that far. No. So we got there Friday. Alan and I got there. Alan got there. I don't know, before the cock crows on Friday, right?
I flew out of Evansville at 6 a.m. on Friday, so I was in Atlanta by a little after 8 Atlanta time.
Yeah. So I got there about 1:45. We met up, and then kind of tried.
Vinnie Vincent first experience was when? What time was that?
That started at
Friday.
That
was
2?
Friday afternoon. Yes.
Yeah, I think it started at 2. And we ran into some people before. Actually, we didn't see anybody really that early. We saw everybody kind of later. Went and had dinner, messed around a little bit, and then you showed up at what time? 11:30, 12 o'clock,
midnight.
12:30.
It was
something
midnight.
Like
I was actually. What was funny was I was at work, and at work on break, I would check my phone, and it was like Vinny's late. I'm like going, he's not going to show up. He's not going to show up. And if he doesn't show up, should I even go? I mean, that was like. So finally, when I heard Vinny's finally Vinny was there, and then I got off work at 3:15. And arrived right at 4 o'clock. Got home, took a shower, and I was on the road at 5 o'clock. that was 6 o'clock you guys' time. So, and it took me basically 6 hours. So I pulled in right at midnight.
Yeah, so we watched. There were some of our folks that watched the Joe Polo from Podcast Rock City. He got his experience on Friday, so he was streaming the Q&A live. So I was laying in the room and watching the Q&A live, and it was really interesting. I mean, it was just bizarre to see Vinnie after all this time. It was like, weren't in the same room, but we were in the same hotel watching it live. It was just bizarre. It seemed a little bit unreal that we got to that point where we were that close. And I think I posted somewhere something about so close yet so far away.
Yeah.
He's here, he's in the building. But it was funny because Alan and I were at dinner and lunch. I don't know what it was, like 2:30 in the afternoon. So whatever time that is.
Brunch.
We kept seeing the same text that, he's late, he's not here, it's going to be late. And then we saw this black limo go by, and Alan goes, "Oh, look, black limo." And then it kind of turned, at least it looked like it was going toward the hotel. So I texted Joe and said, "Hey, just want to let you know that a black limo looks like it went to the hotel." So I don't know if that was him or not. But then not long after that, then all of a sudden he appeared. So it could have been him. I don't know. But it was pretty cool. I mean, I think just that whole thing was cool. I think some people really got frustrated with the experience of the logistics of the event.
Right.
Were a little bit troublesome for some, but I think it was, Vinny got there late. That started things off late, and then, I really believe that Vinny took this opportunity to give some stuff back to some fans that paid some extra money to spend some time with him. And I after I've had some time to reflect about it a little bit, that's really pretty awesome because he didn't have to do that. He really could have just done, I'm signing one item and I'm moving on, sign one item, moving on. But he was not doing that. He was taking time with people, talking to them, interacting. I didn't hear one comment that wasn't him thanking people for coming or being surprised that there were that many people there or any of that stuff. He seemed to be genuinely grateful. And, that was really cool. I mean, I think to me that was the exciting part.
Well, everybody that we talked to after they came out of the experience, there was not one sourpuss in the whole bunch. Everybody was
none.
I mean, they were very pleased with the interaction with Vinny, the time they got with Vinny, and it was supposed to be $50 per signature or whatever, and I know he signed quite a few people, 2 or 3 things, and didn't charge them for each signature. So,
plus he signed guitars, which he wasn't supposed to, and he did. Like I said, I think he went out. What did Joe say though? They were at past 10 o'clock that night.
He left at 10:30, I think.
Yeah,
it's supposed to start at 2. I think it was, and he left at 10:30.
Yeah, so it was a long evening for everybody.
It was.
Well, I was concerned that he got there. Was an hour and a half, almost 2 hours late, and I was concerned that some people weren't going to get their turn because he was going to be like, "I'm supposed to be here until such and such time, and I'm out of here." But he didn't do that. So
no, it was that. That's the part. Looking back, I think that, as a fan, it was something. I think it was kind of cool. I mean, and it dawned on me. I saw when I got home, and I went upstairs to put my stuff away and stuff like that. And my history book is laying on my dresser because I was going to take it with me because I couldn't really decide if I wanted to try to get his signature or not. And I should have, but it was sitting there, and I looked at that book, and it really dawned on me that we were there for some history.
Yep.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, it really was, and it was just really cool.
Yeah, I wrestled with taking my book. I thought about it and I thought about it. And I finally, at the last, since Dennis drove, I took my luggage and had Dennis haul it down. And on my way out the door, I'm just leaving the book here, Right. And with the logistics, because the logistics were bad all 3 days for the meet and greet with Vinny. So,
yeah,
I would like to have had it signed. But if I'd have had it signed, I'd have spent all my time in line, and I would have missed all the Q&As. I would have missed hanging out with everybody I got to hang out with, And
I'd have been mad.
You know what, though, too,
that'd make me
though?
mad.
You know what, too, though, Alan and Bill, if you think about it, logistic-wise, yeah, I mean, it was bad set up as far as the lines are concerned, but look at the amount of people who were in line to get Vinny's autograph. I mean, it would have been a long line no matter what. Even if they had lines that would move, they would have figured out who was pink and who was silver and all this gold bullshit. There still was a shitload of people who were getting signatures. So it was a line. No matter what you did that day, it was an extreme line.
Well, but it was three different. But there were two different options. So there was the meet and greet option.
I'm just saying on Saturday,
which is what happened on Friday. Yeah, but
right.
Which has happened on Friday, which was supposed to be 100 people.
Right.
And that's the same thing on Sunday, which is 100 people. So if you'd have got one of those two things, you were still going to be there way late. And then if you bought that pink ticket, we got in before some of the pink ticket people did.
Well, we know people in low places, so that's
but still, I mean that whole and I'm not dissing on anybody, but that could have run better, and it would have made it a better experience for everybody. And it was just
the Expo itself was run very well. It's just the fact of the lines that was, and the check-in portion of it was not. I think it was more than what they thought it was going to be.
Well, it is my understanding that same logistical issues took place at the LA Kiss Expo and the New York Kiss Expo. Because the same guy does all of that stuff. I think he's just not hiring enough people to help. And
hey, you know what?
That may be with.
You don't have to hire me to help. Yeah, let me come and.
I'm sure.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I always got volunteers when I did my
Expo.
Yeah,
I would have done that.
Volunteered to help.
I'd have done that for sure.
But I think that's part of the problem is he didn't want to. I don't know how much he paid Vinny. I don't care how much he paid Vinny. I don't know if Ed Trunk got paid, John Hart, all of the guests. I'm sure they all got paid.
Sure.
So you got to cut costs somewhere.
But ask for some volunteers.
Putting on an expo is not cheap, and putting on an expo of that caliber is fucking expensive.
Yeah, but in general, I thought it went really well.
It was a great expo.
You know what, though? Though I've never been to an expo. This was my first actual. Hold on a second.
You've never sounded better, Dennis.
My first actual, not official expo, but put on. I was a little bit let down on the merchandise. I honestly thought there would be a little more because I didn't find anything there that I needed. There was one album that I almost bought, but I was like, you know what? I'll just buy the new 180 gram one, and be done with it. But I just thought there would be more things for sale.
I had heard a rumor that there was going to be classic merch there.
Right, collectible.
I didn't see any of it.
I didn't.
Nothing.
And even like Bill mentioned too, T-shirts. I thought there would be more T-shirts. Where there wasn't a shirt there that I really cared to buy. I mean,
I saw a lot of cool shirts, but they were people wearing them.
People wearing them. But
yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that
was
I thought there'd be more vendors. Maybe that's what I expected there to be more vendors from that.
Right.
But that's kind of the size that the one is in Indianapolis. It wasn't from the vendor perspective. There isn't many more than that there.
Right.
But I didn't, I thought it ended up being a pretty cool day. It was a very long day.
Yeah.
My feet kill me.
Long day. But let's call out some folks. So we,
start from the beginning.
Cool. Yeah. So if you didn't catch it, we did go live from the event. I used my not so refined on the spot interview skills, and
you did good.
Before you get started. The one live thing you did where I kept telling you were live right now.
Yeah,
Laura got a kick out of that. She said that was the funniest damn thing.
Oh, Kelly's like, "Well, that's just basically you guys. I mean, you're just like."
Oh well. Anyway, but but overall, I thought it was kind of fun, and I thought it was kind of fun to do that and just kind of broke stuff up. People were getting you get people around you that were a little ticked off because they had to wait in line, and so let's go have some fun. And I think that kind of broke the ice a little bit. But so we met a guy in line that was kind of Dennis. You want to tell a story about, or do you want me to tell a story about the gentleman that was in line in front of us?
Oh, go ahead. That was mean.
So we're standing there talking. Dennis and I are talking to this guy, and he keeps looking at us kind of funny. But we keep talking to him or whatever, and then I finally gave him one of my business cards, one of the Ages of Rock business cards, and he looks at it and he goes, "Oh my gosh!" And he goes, "I listen to you guys all the time." And I'm like, he goes, I could sit here, I could hear your voices, I just couldn't put the place, and I couldn't get it all put together. And I go, really? And he goes, yeah, because I listen to you guys all the time. I said, that's awesome. He goes, yeah, I listen to you guys like every night. And I went, like when? And he said, right. He goes, well, when I'm getting ready to go to bed. And I said, so we bore you to sleep, is what you're saying.
So anyway, hey, Jeff, wake up. Wake up, Jeff. Wake up.
Hey, Jeff Rogers, here's a shout out to you, man. It was great meeting you in line. We had a good time. It was fun.
Oh, yeah, he had some great stories.
Yeah, it was fun.
We should get Jeff on the show and have him talk about his last Kiss cruise.
Exactly.
Yeah, he should talk about that and hope his wife didn't hear it.
Nothing bad.
I told my wife about it. She's like, no. So we met Jeff, who was a pretty cool guy, for sure. A gentleman I met that I ended up doing an interview with. We'll post. We could do that like a one-off post, I think, or something like that. I don't know how we'll do that interview. You got it, Alan, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna get. Well, I'm going through the videos as I get through them, and it'll be posted on our page.
A bunch of stuff. So, anyway, so his name is Max. He's from Argentina. He currently lives in Washington D.C. We did a little episode, a little clip, and he talked about Kiss in Argentina, and it was really cool. They're like gods down there. I mean, it's really pretty cool. But he talked a lot about just his experience here and being there and just the party atmosphere they have in Argentina. So it was fun just to talk to people. Those are a couple people I met for sure. And then our normal, podcast buddies, it was great to see them again. It's kind of funny. Some of us have made some pretty good bonds from our little trip down there in September or August or whatever it was.
It was August. Don't forget this guy.
Yeah, and Jason. Yeah, talk about Jason popping up there.
So anyway, he was mentioned that he was going to be coming down. Actually, you've been talking to him, Bill, right?
Yeah.
And he actually got some exhibitions or what do they call them?
So he had some classes.
Or some classes in Atlanta, so he could make it a business trip down to Atlanta. But he came down there, and so Jason Morris, Judo Center. And of course, he hooked us up with some great swag. I got me a nice hat. I've been loving this hat. In Indiana, I've been wearing the hell out of it. And
it's nice when somebody comes up to you and go, "Hey, I'm looking for you guys. I want to give you something." Yes.
Yeah. We got shirts too, and like I said, I'll be wearing those. I'm gonna be, we'll kind of drag it through so you'll get all your stuff on the air. But Jason, we sure appreciate meeting you. It was really cool to meet you, actually, because we've talked to you quite a few times, and you sent us stuff, and we've talked to you, and you've sent us a lot of messages and everything. Tell you one thing I was about meeting the guys from the Magic, the Kiss Chronicle book that's coming out. Ross Radley, I talked to him, and I've been seeing about his book for a couple of years. It was really cool to kind of meet him and talk to him, and he's going to probably be on at some point later this year also, whenever the book starts getting ready to be sold and shipped out.
Yeah, the mock-up they had there was pretty cool.
Mock-up was really cool.
Yeah, it looks like a really neat book.
He's been working on that thing for many, many years. Actually, I've heard about this for almost 2 years now, and it's been just but he's finally he's basically got everything together now. It's just a matter of putting it together.
I'd never heard of that before. Had you heard about that before, Alan? Because I've never heard that.
No.
Did you see it?
No.
No? Okay. Yeah, it was over at the.
It's going to be a really cool picture book that's going to be coming out. Yeah, he was right across from Julian. At his table there, but got to saw the vault was down there. They were actually selling vaults, and was Andrew? He's working for that company, Alan, that sells the Kiss costumes?
Andrew Scambetti?
Yes.
Yes.
And those costumes were fan-fucking-tastic.
My favorite costume was the Wonder Woman costume. Had nothing to do with the girl wearing it.
Yeah. But anyway, they make actually, and I talked to Andrew about this. They make custom. I mean, they had some there, but I was looking at the Kiss Love Gun jean costume, and they can actually custom make it to fit. Even a big fat guy. They can make it custom fit for you, boot wise.
And that's what you want to see. A bunch of that skin hanging out with some chains on it.
Basically, the whole thing. I mean, you would have to get the bodysuit, but the whole thing basically $750. That's boots and everything. That's cheap. I mean, that's really cheap for that quality. And I was looking at it; it's really high quality stuff. And the other cool thing that people we met down there were the guys from the Classic '78.
That was pretty cool.
Those dudes, I mean, Alan and I, when we were going down to the Christmas thing, I played that for him because I bought it from on iTunes. I bought both of their albums, and I played them from Alan on the way down, and Alan's like, man, that fucking sounds good. And as soon as I walk in, I see these guys. I know who they were. I'm like, holy shit. And
it was funny.
And he will be on at some point later on this year too. I've talked to the one dude, and they're going to come on and talk to us. So,
But when they come on, they will be in makeup. So
yes, they will.
Or they won't be on video.
True. No, they're actually on video. I've seen them before on other shows.
They were on three sides of the coin.
Yeah. So anyway,
it was. I don't care.
No,
they don't have to name drop us, but we'll name drop them.
But I tell you what, though, we had a bunch of people down there. We had, as far as the podcast, too, name those guys instead of just three sides. We had Decibel Geek.
Decibel Geek was there.
You said Chris and Aaron. They were hanging out.
Chris and Aaron was there. And then you had Joe Polo.
Jody Have Not.
The podcast Rock City guys, Sonny, Jody, and Joe.
Or Steve Michael.
Sonny and Steve Michael. And a big shout out to Steve Michael. Thank you, brother. We appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. Man.
But anyway, growing up, Rock.
Thanks for letting us use your backdrop too for that picture we took with Ron Keel. Appreciate that, man.
Actually, Steven's got a great. He give us crap about our corporate shirts, but he sure looked pretty corporate that day. He had his shit together.
He did. He looked good.
No, he did. He looked very professional. He did a real good job. He interviewed people all day, giving them questions and kind of introducing people to podcasts. So God love him. I mean, he did a good job, real good job. And but the night was really
he did it the
good.
right way. He studied how everybody else was doing it, and found his way to do it.
Exactly.
So Julian was there and
selling books. He sold out the first.
Julian Gill from Kiss FAQ. Yes.
Yeah. He was a star. He was a rock star, wasn't he, man?
Yeah,
that dude was.
I know he was thrilled to sell that book out because I bought one of those books and he shipped it to me. That thing was like 7 or 8 pounds. I'm like, holy crap!
It was big. It was big.
Yeah, he wasn't taking any of that crap home.
No.
So the interesting thing too is the Kiss Alive Forever book. They had the special cover.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Jeff? Yeah, Kurt and Jeff. I think it's Jeff.
Kurt,
yeah. They did a little thing where they were talking about that and showed a video, which is really cool from some video that they're putting together. But they ended up, I forget how many books they brought, but they had a box and a half left. Yeah. And they had like 5 cases or 6 cases or 7 or something. I mean, it was some big number. I don't know what it was, but those babies went through those books. So it's, it's amazing what people will buy and seeing people get excited about stuff was pretty cool. I mean, I bought a couple things. So I bought a, do you have my picture by any chance, Dennis?
Look right behind me. You want me to pick it up?
Yeah, grab that picture.
Sure. Hold on.
So, I bought 2 things. One thing I bought the Kiss 1977-78 World Tour book, which was the
say that was again, the first because you kind of cut out a little bit.
Okay, sorry. So I bought 2 things. The first thing I bought was the Kiss World Tour 77-78 tour book, which was a book that I had when I was 11 years old.
Flat. I'm trying to keep it.
There you go. That's cool. And but mine, I still have it. It's just torn up. It's torn where
well used.
well
I'm going
used.
to pick
I put
this
it
up
on my
very
wall.
easy.
And then I bought this, which this is actually one of 20 prints that were created just for that event. And we've been told there won't be any created again. But that is the original Love Gun artwork that was scrapped and not used. And they never made prints of it before.
Yeah,
so
I'm going to put it back in the book.
I got number 7. And then I was the first person to get my picture taken with the print with Ken Kelly.
Right on.
Which that's what the girl that was working there said. And Ken goes, really? And she goes, yes, that's my job to pay attention to that stuff.
The only thing that I bought this time was I was flipping through some CDs at Julian Gill's table, and I found a tribute CD called Hotter Than Hell. And some guy had went and recorded the entire Hotter Than Hell album as a tribute CD.
Have you heard it yet?
I listened to it this morning, and there are 3 or 4 songs on there that I really dig, and then some of those songs, not so much. Okay. But, you know, I'll let you guys listen to the CD too, and sure. You guys might like 2 or 3 songs that I thought sucked.
Right.
You know. But you know, Bill, it's all what you want to experience.
We're not getting no audio. No, your audio is done.
Dude. No, Bill. Nope.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
That's not working yet.
There you go. So anyway, Bill, that's where your shit's sitting on my consoles. Right, cool, my new console stereo back here.
I'll get it in a couple weeks.
And it's sitting there flat, so nobody bothers it and everything. So,
going back to the classic '78 thing, I had that in the car, and I took Noah last night to Verizon, and we're listening to it. And he goes, "Man, that's really good." And I said, "Yeah." And I go, "That's a new Kiss record." Or he said, "That sounds a lot like a new Kiss record." And I said, "Well, it isn't." He goes, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." So he really liked it. He thought it was pretty cool. So I sent an email or posted on the Classic '78 webpage that he really liked it. It's amazing those guys sound. Even the Ace song that's on there, Streetwise.
Well, I like.
It sounds like.
Well, the guy who was on. Bizarre. If you remember the picture of the 2 guys, the guy on the right hand side,
the unoriginals.
He sings the Ace and the Gene stuff. So yeah, he does both. And the guy who does the Paul singing was not there. The other guy on the left hand side of the pictures he's the drummer.
Oh, so. I didn't know that.
Well, when they released this, they released side 1.
Right.
Sometime in 2017.
Hold up that.
Earlier 2017, and then in real late in 2017 they released side 2.
Hold up that back side of that again. No, go over. There you go.
Pull it back a little bit.
Is it Hell on High Heels or Hot on Hot on Her Heels?
I think it's Hot on
Her Heels.
That's my favorite song off that album. That should have been.
He likes it so much he don't even know the name of it.
No, you know what I'm saying. It's a great song though. Awesome song.
Yep.
Anyway.
I'm trying to think who.
So
else
you want to go through? Let's go through the guests that were there. Kurt Gooch and them. They were first.
Kurt Gooch and Jeff Suz. I'm not sure I pronounces his last name, but they were the first. And Julian, someone asked Julian to be the moderator of that Q&A.
And then they did that video at the end where they showed they had a bunch of 25 minutes or so of these were all original masters. He went and found all these masters. So, and there were clips and partial clips of concerts and other kind of stuff. And there was like a Gene Simmons'
terrible audition.
Terrible audition. Horrible. Yeah. I'm surprised Gene hasn't paid to have that thing just squashed.
I think for me the shining moment of that video clip was seeing Eric Carr performing at that Palladium show, because that was his first show with the band.
Right. Yeah, it was cool. That was really cool. That'll be a cool video to get.
That will be cool.
Add to the collection.
So anyway, after that, then it was what
John Hart.
John Hart came up and then talked, and then for a while.
And John
And
Hart, I've actually talked to him. He asked because I recorded all of the Q&As,
right,
and his handler came up and asked me for a copy of that recording. So
right.
I was like, I'll give you a copy if you'll be on the show.
So John is
So,
writing a book. Is he currently
John
writing a
is
book?
in the process of writing a book, and he's he's not using GoFundMe. He's using Pledge Music or something. One of those sources he's using to help crowdfund the production of the book. So,
And people who don't know who he is the guy who was the security guard, and he was the guy who was always holding his hand in front of people, Ace's face. There's a picture of Ace getting out of a car, and John's got his hand. I mean, he was there. He was with those guys 24/7 for a long time.
a long time, yeah.
So he's got all kinds of stories, I'm sure. So we'd like to have him on hopefully soon.
Yeah, I've talked to I've messaged his people. I haven't,
Cool.
I haven't checked my mail to see if it's come in yet, but we'll
Cool.
see.
All right. And then after John, it was it Flesh?
Eddie Trunk.
Eddie Trunk, yeah. Eddie just came up and talked, wasn't it? It was just by himself, just kind of talking stories. I heard a bowling story, him and Ace, and blah, blah, blah. And then...
still, he does not have the Ace impersonation down like John Regan does.
no. John Regan is top on that so far. And then...
He did announce there that he has a show coming out, right? On Access TV coming out in sometime later this year or something.
Some channel I don't get.
Yeah.
So.
It's on. You have to have AT&T.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's nope, not me.
Yeah, me either. So, and then after that, then it was that Fleshman came up after that?
I think
Ron
Bob
Keel.
Kulick was next.
Ron Keel was next.
Ron Keel come up.
Oh, yeah, Ron Keel came up.
Yeah.
He did an acoustic set. I recorded that, and his business partner, road manager, I'm not exactly sure what his title is, but Aaron Fisher, hey buddy, I got your video. Call me. But we talked to Ron, and he said he wanted to be on the show, so hopefully we can get him on at some time.
Ron was all and about. I mean, he was having a good time that day. He was talking to everybody. I mean, he was out and about. And
he was very active.
He was having a good time.
He was that way when he was in Evansville.
He is.
I think that's just the kind of guy he is.
He is. He's not one of them people. He's just very personable. He is just out and about. He don't stand behind a velvet rope. He's out talking.
The only person that I have ever heard Ron Keel insult was Yngwie Malmsteen.
And probably,
rightfully so.
Yeah. All right. So after that, then what was next? Then we had
it was Fleischman.
If we keep saying Bob Kulick, eventually we'll be right.
Yeah, you're going to be close. You're getting closer.
Well, Bob was actually supposed to be last.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
See, things got messed around because Vinnie was still signing things.
I think it was to Bob's advantage that things got twisted around.
Yeah, I think so too. But anyway, they was it? I lost my train of thought.
Fleischman talked about doing stuff with Journey.
And that was Tommy that went up there. Tommy from Three Sides up with Robert.
Tommy Saunders. Is that
Summers?
Tommy Summers. Yeah, he went up with him, and then Mark went up with Bob.
Yeah.
And talked there for a little bit. Then we waited, and then we waited a little bit more, and then Vinnie finally came out. And like I said, it was an interesting talk. The only thing that I heard, and this is from somebody who heard the one the night before, is it was extremely scripted, and he kind of said the same things 2 days. I mean, of course, the guy who put on the show, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was exactly the same.
So you saw it, but I'm saying
other than the dog story,
right?
Yeah.
They were the same stories,
but
very similar.
There again, he's not been out for 20 years.
Drink.
What do you expect? I mean, I know everybody drink, but I mean, it's one of those things where at least we got him out there. He was telling it to another audience.
Right.
So, and he was being honest about a lot of things.
It was
I
a
just
little
wish-
bit different. I mean, it was a little bit different, but
Right.
it wasn't a
I
great
just wish
deal
it would have
different.
been more, just a little bit more, because his first thing was, look, this is all, everything's from the heart. Ask me anything you want. He was all,
Well, there were no questions being asked. It was all moderated. They got the questions
Right,
that
and
they were going to ask,
Right.
and that was going to be
and
it.
those
which
were
is-
already pre-planned, already
And
answered.
that's, I figured
And that's fine.
from the time that they announced that there was
Oh, yeah.
there was no way they were going to hand a microphone around and let people in the audience.
No way. No way.
I mean, just the box set controversy alone, that was
Right.
enough to keep that from happening.
Right.
But then he got arrested because with whatever it was with his wife or whatever, and then
the dogs.
all of that different stuff. You knew that people were not gonna, they weren't gonna
Right.
let people ask questions. And I can't say that I blame the guy,
No.
but I think what they
either.
should have done was had people from the audience, even if it's just write down a question and give to the moderator and let that
Sure.
guy pick out questions.
Sure.
But
Yeah, that'd been a good idea.
I think that probably what they did is Vinny said, these are the topics that I'm going to talk about. Don't ask anything else.
But I think
that's
that
me
over
speculating.
time, but I think just coming out and now that he's got a good reception, I think that'll change. My whole thing was to see, can Vinny still play guitar? Is he still a musician? And that was fulfilled that night. I mean, he came out there, they brought an acoustic guitar out, which I didn't expect at all.
Yeah, I think that caught everybody off guard.
And then,
No, go ahead.
wait, no, go ahead.
No, it was interesting because that piece to me was a little bit, I don't know if the emotional is not the right word, but it was just, that was special.
Right.
And it was
The
raw.
question, the Q&A thing was
Right.
cool and it was okay, but seeing him play,
Right.
and not have, after not having heard him play for that long, was special. That was, to me, that was like, because I might have been you when we were sitting over in that, we were standing back there and I said, this is what I came for.
Yeah.
Well, and the
That's
whole
the point
point
of coming.
He did.
the whole point too. Go ahead, Alan.
He did. He didn't do full songs. He did parts of "Tears," "A Million to One,"
Back in the streets.
that time of year, and he ended it with "Back on the Streets." And his guitar tech got Robert Fleischman to go up there and sing with him. And that lit the place up.
Right.
And that was extremely special, simply for the fact that Fleischman never got to perform live with Vinnie Vincent Invasion.
Right.
So that was, to the best of my knowledge, that was the only time those two guys ever performed in front of other people.
And I even seen a post from Robert Fleischman saying that it was awkward because it was in a different key.
Yeah.
It was all thing, but he was so glad to be able to do that and do it for Vinny. For me, it was just the fact of that Vinny did it. And the thing was, I had heard that Vinny could sing. There's always been people that say, Vinny's not got a really bad voice. It's just, but he just never did sing much.
Well,
And when he started singing, I was like going, holy shit. You know what? Like I said, it wasn't perfect. And it was a little bit, off here and
it
there.
was rough.
But you know what? God damn it. It was, that was brave for him to do that shit.
Well,
And the whole night, I just got a lot of, I wasn't a really big Vinny fan, but right now I got a lot of respect for the dude. I really do.
I agree.
So.
Well, that the recording of "Back on the Street" that's on the Vinnie Vincent Invasion album is him and Fleischman swapping up vocals.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I've heard that he's actually.
But he did confirm one thing in the Q&A that I have been dying to get my hands on. Every collector, anybody that collects Kiss demos, Paul Stanley. There's been rumors for years that Paul Stanley recorded a version of "Back on the Street" for the Lick It Up album or for the Creatures album, whichever one it was. But that recording, according to Vinny, does exist. So, all of us collectors are like, ooh, that is the holy grail. For me, that is the holy grail. Because, I mean, you hear Fleischman sing it, and Paul
Right.
has a lot of the same vocal stylings.
Right.
So I would really, really love to hear Paul's version of it.
That'd be cool.
But no, like I said, I was really that little acoustic set there just topped the night off for me. I mean, I was really happy with that.
Yep. And then it ended with
Priss.
the band from LA.
They were actually really good.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
I was just, but by that time, my feet
I was
about
done,
to
man.
fall out, dude. I went over and sit with Joe and Steven for a little bit over there, and I was like, going, dude, I'm going to borrow one of your chairs. And then we ended up all kind of filtering out at some point, and then we went down to the bistro. You stayed around. Did you tape the whole thing?
I did not tape the tribute band,
Okay.
but I
All
did
right.
stick around and watch the whole thing. And the
Right.
highlight of that was Ron Keel got on stage with them. They did
Sad-
Rock and
sad.
Roll Hell. They did
Really?
Right to Rock and Rock and Roll
Right.
All Night. But that band learned Right to Rock. And
Right.
I wish I had recorded that song because they brought it. They brought
That's
it,
cool.
and Ron brought it, and it was just a great performance.
Cool.
Overall,
Cool.
overall, the whole experience, I am so glad that I did it. You know,
Yeah. It was good.
it was great flying in. It was great flying home.
Driving in, driving on.
But I
That
mean,
would not be great,
you know,
man.
just the fact that we got to see 2 different pieces of history happen at the same time. If you want to call Fleischman and Vincent there performing together history, you know. But getting Vinny back out in the public eye, that was really cool, and getting those guys performing together, that was really, really cool. That was the highlight of the expo for me.
Yeah,
And then
it was cool.
Hanging with people that I've known for years, talking to people that I haven't seen for 15 or 20 years. You know, I hadn't seen Keith LaRue since 2007, I believe. So it was nice to get a few minutes to chat with him again.
But you know, go ahead. Nope.
No, I was gonna say like I said, when we finished that, we went over to the bistro, and then
It wasn't the bistro. That was the bucket shop.
The bucket shop bistro. It was a bistro.
It was something like that.
So anyway, I actually had only 2 beers and then a steak sandwich, and I actually left before everybody else did. I actually pooped out on everybody. But it was funny though. We were all sitting there.
You just went back to the hotel and turned the TV on as loud as you could possibly turn it up.
I did. And then I actually turned on our show, and I was fucking with you guys. But no, what was funny was we were all sitting there, and Eddie Truck comes walking up the street. He's going to walk inside, and one of the guys goes, "Hey Eddie, why don't you come over here and have a beer?" "Oh, I've got to go upstairs." He walked
Some
in.
people upstairs.
Yeah, he's going to meet some people upstairs.
But he never
So,
came back, so he either had
He
to meet
never
some
did.
people or went out another door.
yeah, I was
It doesn't matter. But I would say on that weekend was a 10. It was fun.
It was
fun.
fun. Yeah.
Good hanging out with you guys for the most part, except for at night when you were sleeping.
This
And
weekend
then,
goes to 11.
Yes, it does.
But no, I
And,
did too. I had a
Great time.
It was fun.
That was a great way to start 2018, fellas.
It was.
It was a great time.
So the rumor now, right, is that there's going to be a Nashville convention in August or June.
Tentatively, it's slated for sometime in June.
June, and there's an Indy now. They're
Well, the
talking
Indy one's
about.
always
The Indy one,
May
yeah.
12th, 13th. That's been that way. But the other rumor with that is Kiss is performing at the Speedway for Carb Day.
I've heard that already.
Yeah, that came out again today. I was looking around a little bit for that. So
Starkey's been
But the
talking about
rumor
that
for
a
the
while.
Nashville Expo is Vinnie Vincent Invasion Reunion.
Right.
Yeah, but if it's a
Yes.
Vinnie Vincent Invasion Reunion, I would think that it's going to be Vinnie, Robert, and 2 other guys. Because
Right.
I don't think
Yeah,
you're going to. I don't think you're going to get Dana Strum or Bobby Rock back with Vinnie Vincent ever.
No.
You know, I think he burned those bridges and built them up and burned them again.
flamethrower.
Yeah. And he burned them again this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
he did.
anyway.
He did throw a couple people under the bus.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, how
There
many
you-
people have
And
thrown
then
him under
also the
bus?
Rock and Pod Expo supposedly is tentatively
The rocket.
set.
Yeah.
So we'll just
have it. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying for
No,
later.
it's tentatively set, but I don't. At
Yeah,
this
but they
point,
talked about
I don't think they've
Still-
announced the date yet. So
No, we're still not
we
going to
will.
do that.
We will be the courteous podcast.
Well,
Well,
they actually
I will
announced-
be the one that says I hope they do it because
Yeah, I hope
it's a different group of people and it's perfectly fine, and I don't care.
Yeah.
I'd come anyway. But if Kiss comes to the Speedway, the deal is the tickets for the carb day are $30, and if you want a pit ticket for the concert, it's an extra 25. So
That's
just let
not
you know,
bad.
for $55, you're standing in the front row or standing in the front pit area.
But when is that? I mean, when are we talking?
May 20. It's May 25th. It's the Friday before the race.
Well, it's a Friday. I can't do that. I
Oh,
gotta
you
work
know where
Friday.
I'll be?
You'll be in
I'll be
Oklahoma.
in Oklahoma.
Well, I'll be.
We'll have plenty of stuff to report.
I'll be by myself then. I
There
don't
you
really care.
go.
Was it May 25th? Hold on, let me look up here real quick. I'm trying to pull it up. God damn it. May.
Well, while he's
25th.
looking that up,
I got a
I have
block.
already
It's Memorial
posted.
Weekend.
By the time
Yeah.
you guys see this video or listen to this broadcast, I will have posted the Vinnie Vincent Q&A and the Eddie Trunk Q&A.
Cool.
And depending on how it goes with the other guys, like I said, Ron Keel's people wanted his Q&A. I gave Julian Gill the Q&A he did. John Hart wanted his. Depending on if they want to use those exclusively, I'll let those guys have them, and I won't post them. But and same goes for Bob Kulick. His people asked for his as well. So, being the nice guy that I am, sure, take it.
Wow, you're awesome.
I
You're awesome.
I'm
All right,
awesome
fellas.
no matter what I say about me.
There you go. Your own
But
biggest
anyway,
fan.
we appreciate everybody that went down there that we seen and then said something about us and liked us and come up to us and said, hey, we appreciate that. We really do.
Oh, I got one more shout out. Mike from Boston.
Oh yeah, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
I met Mike at the bar, and then he kept following me around, man. Every time I turn around, there's Mike. I'm like, dude, you're like stalking me, man.
He was cool.
He was a nice guy. Him and his buddy were great guys. I met them at the bar on Friday afternoon. So
yeah.
had him on and Rich from Mr. Speed. That's another guy we
Yeah.
Oh,
a couple
yeah,
other people
yeah.
we forgot to mention. So we're gonna try to get Rich on the show too. So
Yeah.
working on that. So anyway,
We were
I
making
think
fun of his New England album. Actually, I was like promoting it.
Yeah,
Bill was like,
whatever.
well, that sucks.
Just
That album
garbage.
sucks.
It's got her-
Oh my goodness.
anyway.
I like it.
So
Really.
thank you guys for listening, watching,
Yes.
viewing, checking us
Watching.
out. We appreciate it.
Share
Make
it.
sure you do that. Keep
Shit.
leaving us some feedback. We want to hear some more feedback. We need some more YouTube listeners. Share your post with our post with you guys and your friends if you would. That'd be great. And let's see, Alan, where can you find us now? Because I don't know the list, man.
agesofrock.com. From there, you can click on our Twitter link, our Facebook link, our YouTube link, and links to all of the shows.
Can you get not sausage links?
Not sausage links.
Okay,
You
good.
can find
I
Stitcher
like sausage
links
links.
on there somewhere, too. We're linked up there on Stitcher Radio as well.
There you go. All right, people. We
Peace
will
out.
See you next week.
Next week.
Peace out.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.